Miss Parker, your relationship is on the verge of ending.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're summoning your boyfriend, Mr. Brown, for a paternity test to prove that he is your 6-month-old son, Malachi's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, you say you stepped up when Malachi was born, but began to have paternity doubts because of Miss Parker's scandalous behavior.
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition to the paternity test, you've countersued for a lie detector test to prove the extent of her cheating.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Brown, clearly you're in court because you have no trust for Miss Parker. Explain.
Well, when we first started, Your Honor, the relationship was good. We loved each other very much. Then later on, she just started doing things. I remember one time later on in the relationship, I called her. I couldn't get in contact with her. I called her parents. I don't know I called her dad. He was at work. I don't know where she at.
Wait, you had a relationship and it was going well, and then she disappeared?
Yeah, just one day I decided to call, and I was like,
Yeah.
She
Did you
didn't even
disappear,
tell me.
Miss Parker?
Your Honor, I object.
You're right.
Your Honor, I object. I feel like that I need to be free because at the end of the day,
I wasn't doing anything.
What you mean? I be stuck with the baby 24/7, honey, because at the,
Oh, but I have to go to work and do stuff, so I'm supposed to be
you
there
don't go to work.
24/7.
All right,
What job?
Hold on now. I want to understand, Miss Parker. Mr. Brown said you all were in a relationship and it was
Correct.
going well.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were happy.
Yes,
Is
Your
that
Honor.
true?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then all of a sudden he says one day he calls you and nobody could find you.
Right.
Did that happen?
I was with my friend. He would not let me have no friends.
I let you have no friends.
He won't let
oh
me
my
have
God.
no
You crazy.
friends. I got pregnant around his 25th birthday, and I told him I was pregnant. He didn't believe because it was $1 pregnancy test. So I went to Grady
$1.
Memorial Hospital, and I confirmed I was pregnant. So I called him on the phone. He had a few minutes to talk. So after we talked about getting married, Your Honor. We talked about having other kids in the future. At the end of the day, I feel like he's insecure. He won't trust me.
Trust you all
Wait,
the
hold
time.
on.
Shoot.
So wait. You find out you're pregnant, you take a test, he
Yes.
says, that's from the dollar store, I want something that I can feel like
Yes,
I can
he
hang
was
my hat
excited
on.
when
So
I
you go
called
to the
him.
hospital, you have a test, it is confirmed you're pregnant.
Correct.
And Mr. Brown, when she told you she was in fact pregnant, after she went to the doctor, were you happy about it?
I was happy.
You were.
Yeah.
At that moment in time, did you think that is my child?
Yes.
Even though you had the period of time where she got missing and you didn't trust her, you felt in that moment, I feel secure, this is my child. Mm-hmm. So now, when did it change? I mean, when did you start having doubts?
After the baby was born, she kept doing it. She kept leaving.
So you were with her while the baby was born?
I was in the delivery room. when the
Did
baby
you
was born.
sign the birth certificate?
I didn't sign the birth certificate.
Did you have a doubt?
Yes, a 50% doubt.
That's a big one.
Yes.
So you couldn't bring yourself to sign the birth certificate because you knew you had a doubt.
Yes.
What was that doubt based on?
Then the dates, they're not adding up.
You said the dates are not adding up? What about the dates didn't add up?
Well, like she said, she got pregnant during June. The baby was born in January.
Hold on, let me get my calendar. Let me understand this. All right, so when was Malachi born?
He was born January 5th.
January the 5th, all right. So baby born. And take me back, you said, what about this time of this birth didn't add up to you?
I did research, and I found out that full-term pregnancy is between 39 and 40 weeks. And if you got pregnant in June, the baby should have been born probably in February.
So you guys met when?
We met
First.
June 1st.
Yes, I found out I was pregnant June 4th on his birthday.
So you met on June the 1st.
Correct.
And you found out you were pregnant on June the 4th?
Yes.
He is talking about now his doubt. He's saying you met on the 1st and you was pregnant on the 4th. Mm-hmm. Were you intimate with any other men around that time?
Pregnant, yeah.
Yes, Your Honor, but that was at the beginning of May.
Okay, let me go back to my calendar. So in the beginning of May, you had another guy number 2.
Yeah, the guy that
you
came to the
meant
house
to.
while we was together. Mm-hmm.
You're admitting that in the month,
I told Mr.
the month
Brown.
right before
Correct.
you met Mr. Brown,
Correct.
you were also intimate with
Yes,
another.
I was honest with Mr. Brown from the beginning. I told Mr. Brown that it could possibly be the other man baby. But
Possibly.
unfortunately, Mr.
But it's mine,
Brown,
though, now.
Mr. Brown, I know it's Mr. Brown because he's been there since day one.
You know it's Mr. Brown's baby because you were having sex since the
Correct.
day you met. But isn't it also true, Miss Parker, that if you were intimate with another man around that time, that it could potentially be his baby as well?
Mm-hmm. See, the court got my back.
No, Your Honor. I feel like it is Mr. Brown baby because look at the resemblance.
What you feel
Right.
and what you know. Mm-hmm. Two completely different things. State your name, please, sir.
My name is Larry Parker III. I am her brother.
All right, thank you for joining us today, Mr. Parker. What do you know about this situation?
I know the situation is obvious that he has trust issues, he has insecurity problems. Obviously, a blind man can see that that's his child. I mean, look at the baby, look at him. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I don't even know why we're here today.
Yeah, why are you here?
Why are you here? I mean, obviously, you know
He
that's
got
your
no
baby.
hairline.
My hairline is straight. Here's like an arrow.
All right,
What you
hold
mean? That don't mean
on.
nothing.
Hold on. Miss Parker, Mr. Brown.
I mean, obviously, you know that's your baby. It's time to step up, be a man. Damn, I mean, do what you have to do for your child. It's time to do something right.
I am doing what I do for my child.
What do you do? What do you do?
I'm there
You have
all
to
the
buy
time.
something. Buy
I
something.
do buy
Be a
stuff.
man.
I
Be a
do
man.
buy
It's time
stuff.
to step
Be a
up.
man.
It's time to
What do you
step up,
mean?
Mr. Brown.
Hold on,
There's
Mr.
nothing
Parker.
It's time to step up.
Mr. Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
Besides what you believe is a resemblance between the baby and Mr. Brown, what else do you know about this situation that would add to the testimony previously given by your sister?
She has been with this man since day one. I have never seen her with anybody else.
Yeah, because you don't be there.
I am talking. I have never seen. I have never seen
One at
her.
a time, gentlemen. One
I
at a
have
time.
never seen her with anybody else. I have never seen her act like this. She is in love with this man. She has been thriving and being everywhere with this man. And for him to just put out there, you must be doing something. And it's time for him to just step up and be a man and just say, okay, that's my baby. I'm going to be a father and I'm going to do everything for her. It's time to work.
I just bought the baby all over.
Thank you very
What have
much,
you bought?
Mr. Parker. You may be seated. Thank you for
Yes,
your
ma'am.
testimony. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Brown, you are not Malachi's father. I'm sorry for you both. I know you wanted a different result. I'm going to give you both a moment to compose yourselves, and then I'm going to meet you in my chambers, and I will give you the results of the lie detector test, okay?
Okay.
Court is adjourned. Mr. Brown, Ms. Parker, I have the results of the lie detector test here. Are you ready for them?
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Parker, you were asked if during your relationship with Mr. Brown, have you had any type of sexual contact with another man? You said no. The lie detector determined that was the truth. So, in fact, her testimony that she had never cheated on you during the relationship was in fact true. Ms. McDaniel, you say you were tricked into having a baby by the defendant, Mr. Lennon, but once you got pregnant, he ditched you and immediately denied he'd fathered your baby. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lennon, you say the plaintiff is nothing but a promiscuous gold digger and there is no way you're her son's biological father. You suggest she contact the multiple men she slept with during the window of conception and return to court with the real daddy. So, Ms. McDaniel, how did the defendant trick you into having a baby?
I want to first off start saying he shouldn't deny my baby when my baby looked just like him. So he was the one to plant to have me pregnant, Your Honor.
He wanted a baby.
Yes.
Tell me.
He told me that he wanted to have a child, which was biologically his, because he have two that's not his. And he's the daddiest because he signed a birth certificate.
You know, Your Honor, that's not true. When the simple fact is, when I met her off of a site. And from me meeting her from a site, I wanted to see what kind of person she is and see if she wanted to have a life.
He
But
also wanted to have
then
sex with
again,
me, Your Honor. He asked me for my number on the site that he met me off of. That is correct about that, but he wanted to have a baby also.
Your Honor, I had a 2-year-old child that passed in my life, and that kind of hurt. So for me trying to pick up with my life, I wanted to meet somebody that was kind of good. So when I got up with her, it was like a simple point was like, you know, I wanted to see what kind of lifestyle she was.
But did you not ask me
But
for
also
sex?
too, when we had sex when we was coming down the road. And then
Sex was the first night I met Mr. Leonard.
So wait, you all met online?
We met online,
Your
Your
Honor,
Honor.
we did meet
We
online.
met in March.
Were you looking for love online, Mr. Lennon?
Your Honor, it's a lot of sites out there. And there's a lot of good ones out there, and yes, there's a lot of bad ones out there. But also, too, when you meet a person, they tell on their own self what they're about. When we had sex on the road, when I pulled over, we had sex on the road. Then when we got to my house...
Oh, wait a minute. I thought you meant like down the road,
No,
like
Your
a
Honor,
wild
no.
path. You meant literally on the road.
Oh, no, not like that. When we pulled over, we had sex on the road. Off of the road. But then when we got to my house after
So
we
my
had
thing
sex,
is, sex
the
was
first
all
thing...
on his mind when he hit me up.
Hold on. Let me understand this. So you were online,
Yes, Your Honor.
looking for love or looking for lust?
Well, looking for love, really.
So in your mind, Mr. Lennon, was this a relationship for you?
I said to myself, well, at least let me see how she is. But Your
I
Honor,
had sex
after
multiple
her attitude is the one that changed it.
That's
She
when he
has
said
a real
himself.
bad,
He poured
nasty
his heart
attitude.
out to
One
me.
time.
He pulled his heart out to me after the time that we done have sex multiple times. He was falling for me.
Okay, were you falling for him?
I could say at the first time, yes, I was falling for Maurice, but to the point that when I started asking Maurice for like help, he didn't want to help me.
What do you need help with?
Money.
I would ask Mr. Leonard for some money to get some food because I didn't want to go to the government for food stamps.
Did you have a job?
No, I didn't.
So you basically wanted a man to take care of you.
I basically wanted a father figure, so yes, Your Honor. When we was having sex with a condom, and then you asked me
That's what
to
I understand.
stop.
When in the world a condom come in? Because we did not think about no condom when I
Maurice,
pulled
just
beside the
really-
road.
Well, let me-
we didn't have no
let me
condom.
tell
And then
you,
after
yes,
that,
we
when we
did.
got to the house, it was no condom talked about it involved
Yes, it
anything.
was.
If
No, it
you
wasn't.
admit you didn't use a condom, then why are you saying you not the father?
I'm a woman, and I'm sleeping around with people, and I come to a man that got a nice big house and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna have him to take care of me. That's her frame.
So you did not tell
Ms.
me.
McDaniel, were there other men during that time?
No, Your Honor.
Good God Almighty.
For the time I could
How
see
was
my
you now?
baby.
How was
no,
you now?
Your Honor.
So you submitted a calendar to the court, Ms. McDaniel.
I did, Your Honor.
And what does this calendar outline?
This calendar outlined the time that I spent with Mr. Leonard.
Okay. You spent a week with Mr. Lennon in June.
Yes.
In July, the doctor said you were 4 weeks and 5 days pregnant. That was during the window of the time you say you were sleeping with Mr. Lennon.
I was with Mr. Leonard the whole time
You were at his house?
at his house,
We did not have sex every
constantly
day.
being intimate with each other.
Not every day. No, we did not have sex
Every
like that.
day,
No, we
you
didn't.
know.
No, we did not have sex every single day. I took her home, and then next thing you know, probably another week or 2 weeks drag her on. Then I go get her again, and then other than that, that was it. My cousin, she could say and tell you all what happened.
Well, I'd like to hear from her. Please stand, ma'am. State your name for the court.
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Powell.
Thank you for joining us, Ms. Powell. You are Mr. Lennon's cousin.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you know about this situation?
He goes to work every day about 4 o'clock in the morning to maybe about 6 in the afternoon. I live across
And
the
when
street,
was
I
that?
smoke cigarettes, and I watches her.
She telling a lie. That's
Okay,
a
no,
lie,
I'm not
Miss-
lying, baby.
That's a lie.
Miss McDaniels jumped in and out of vehicles all while she was at our home.
And that's a lie, Your
Then she
Honor.
called and told the boy that she was pregnant. So my thing is this. If he's the baby father, the baby will get taken care of. But if it's not, then let Miss McDaniels go on about her business.
So it is your testimony that Ms. McDaniel
Yes, ma'am.
was with multiple men
Dropping her
during
off.
the stay
Yes,
with
ma'am.
Mr. Lennon.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lie, Your
And
Honor.
pickup trucks and all.
All right, thank you so much
Yes,
for your
ma'am.
testimony. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
thank you.
In the case of McDaniel versus Lennon, When it comes to 1 month old Kimari McDaniel, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Lennon, you are not the father.
That's right.
Like I told you. Like I told you. I told you. I told you.
Oh.
You sure that's right, Your Honor?
Yes, we're positive.
Say that.
Are you sure?
Maurice was the unfit.
Defendants can lie, plaintiffs can lie, but the DNA,
Don't lie.
it doesn't lie.
That's right. Amen.
Ms. McDaniel, I have to ask you, for Kimari's sake, do you have any idea who his biological father really is?
Yeah.
I believe you owe Mr. Lennon an apology, though.
I apologize, Mr. Lennon.
Ms. Boyd, you say the defendant's paternity denial destroyed your daughter's childhood and has caused emotional distress. You are here asking this court to order a paternity test to prove that Mr. Henderson is Regina's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Henderson, you say there is no need for a DNA test because it is impossible that you are Regina's dad.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will hear both sides and determine if there is enough evidence to order a paternity test. Ms. Boyd, I want to start with you. What was the nature of your relationship with Mr. Henderson?
Well, Your Honor, I met Ruben, and he used to come by my house like for 2 years, tried to get at me, and you know, my mother and them ran a tight ship because they was pastors of a church. And so basically that, you know, I couldn't really get out often to see him. So, you know, like he'll pass by my house and make noise or yell to something, and then I'll, you know, notice that, look out the window and notice that it's him and stuff like that, Your Honor.
And so this started when you were younger.
Yes.
And he was in pursuit of you. He made it known that he wanted to get to know you, date you, and he would come by your house.
That's what I thought, Your Honor, yes.
That's what you thought?
Yes, ma'am.
So this ended up turning into a sexual relationship.
He came to me, Your Honor, and said that, okay, once I started doing the do, he came to me, said that I would give my body up to other men, and that I didn't give him any. And when he told me that, I felt like I was obligated since he was running behind me them 2 years. Well, I might well give him some. He had told me meet him in the back, because we stayed like in the same row. He told me to meet him in the back. So when I met him in the back, he snuck me in the house because he said he was home alone. And that's how that got started.
That's not true.
So what happened that night, Ms. Boyd? What happened that night?
It wasn't even that night. It was in the daytime because I'm not allowed to be outside at night. So anyway, he took me in, I guess, I don't know whose room it was, but we did it, and majority it happened so fast, I didn't even think it could have been his baby.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, you told the truth right there.
But hold on, Mr. Henderson.
Okay.
Didn't nobody say it gotta be long
Okay.
or good?
Okay.
You can still make a baby. So what she said is you two had intercourse. She
Did
said
not
it was
happen.
quick.
We didn't have sex. She came into the room, and when she took off her clothes, I said, man, not now. Not now. I was too blitzed. I was high. She took off her clothes, and then when I took off my clothes, that was it. It was over.
At the point you find out you're pregnant, take me to that moment, Ms. Boyd.
Okay, first of all, I didn't think it was his baby because I was with somebody else at the time. So when I did find out I was pregnant, that's why I didn't think it was his. That's what I mean by I wasn't experienced, because it happened so fast, I didn't know I could have been pregnant by him. Just that fast.
But you're admittedly saying you were also being intimate with somebody else at that time.
Exactly.
Were you using protection with that person?
No.
When you got pregnant, did you tell that other man that he could be the biological father of your daughter?
That's why I thought he was the father. And he the one confronted me.
You say Mr. Henderson confronted you?
Exactly.
And what did he say?
Well, after I had my daughter, he confronted me saying that that's my baby. And I told him no, that wasn't his baby. So he asked me, can he take it to his mother's house?
Wait, how old was Regina at that time?
2 months.
So at 2 months old, First of all, you find out you're pregnant, you tell the other guy he could be the father.
Right.
What was his response?
Well, he really wasn't happy about it.
Now you have the baby by yourself.
Exactly.
No, neither man was in the picture.
No.
And how does he see you to tell you?
Okay, well, down from the apartments, we got mailbox all in one spot.
Okay.
So I'm walking down there with her in the stroller.
With Regina in the stroller.
Right.
And what happened?
And he walks up to me and told me something, is that my baby? And I told him, no, it wasn't his baby. And then he like, well, can we take it to my mom? So I told him, go ahead, it ain't your baby. So he took her in there and came back to me and said that his mama said that's his baby.
Did that happen, Mr. Henderson?
That's what you said now.
No.
You gonna sit up here and tell that lie?
Your Honor, when I saw her, I said, let me see the baby. I said, oh, let's take the baby to my mom. I took the baby. She came with me. She waited out there on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the baby. I said, Mom, who does baby look like? And my mom said, who baby is that? I said, who the baby look like? She said, oh, she don't look like you. She don't look like you. So I took the baby back outside.
But if you never had sex with her, what is all this for?
Exactly.
Why pick up a baby?
You are the hello, amen.
Mr. Henderson contacted me on Facebook saying, I'm your daddy. And then I'm like, is he trying to talk to me? Because he had his cat daddy blue suit on. And I'm like, then he went on and said, I used to date your mom. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So my mom was in the room at that moment. So I asked her about Mr. Henderson. She said she forgot all about Mr. Henderson. And then from there, me and Mr. Henderson exchanged numbers, and I go over to his house and spend time with him, trying to build a relationship. But when I leave, I don't get no calls, no texts, no nothing for him or, at all.
So, Mr. Henderson, why are you reaching out to Regina on Facebook, leaving a message, I'm your daddy? You admit that's you. Why would you reach out and say that if you never had sex with her mother?
Hello.
I was going down my Facebook page, and I see Renee's name. Her daughter's name was Regina. I said, let me, just joking. Hey, I'm your daddy.
Oh, come on, you were that.
I said, I'm your daddy.
Hold on.
Okay.
You joking?
Joking.
This man
so if that was a joke, what kind of joke is that? Why would you be that ignorant and that cruel to a young woman, and you know she's looking for her father?
I didn't know she was looking. I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Listen.
Man.
You either lying or I'm flying.
Well, you probably.
And we know I'm sitting in this chair on this bench. So this doesn't make any sense. Okay. Now, you know good and well, you told the whole story about how you marched the baby up to your mother and said it's your child. Right. So why would you entertain this young woman and say, I'm your daddy, and then take her over to your house and spend time together? Admittedly, if you didn't think there is some way possible you could be her biological father.
I was just kidding. I was joking around.
What kind of joke is that?
I was joking around with her. Oh, that's Facebook. I joke around.
Why would you joke around with a young woman 20 years younger than you who should be a child in your eyes? Why would you joke around with her? What's funny about that?
I joke around with a lot of people.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do.
In the case of Boyd versus Henderson, when it comes to 27-year-old Regina Wilson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Henderson, yes. You are her father. Very nice. You are her father.
I want to apologize to him because he did try to tell me in the beginning, but I just hope you really do step up in her life because she really needs him.
I will.